receivers, they all want to play with Brady because of how he does it, and a lot of times, a lot of games, Brady is nothing but a check down Charlie, but it's just the yards that these guys get after they catch the ball. So a lot of times he's not doing he's kind of he has a stronger arm than Drew Brees, but a lot of these great quarterbacks, man, they're throwing these short passes, and and these guys, they have guys that they just surround them with tremendous athletes, dudes that are so capable in space of beating their opponent. It's a lot of times it's better than a 50-50 chance.
Look at Gronk.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. And those that Gronk, especially in his heyday, and now Antonio Brown and man, they even got reserve. I'm gonna put it to you like this: at receiver, they are loaded. They're probably the most loaded team because they just have so many. They got them in reserve, man. And in this game, a lot of things that they did. Now, that one interception that Fournette had, I mean, that shouldn't have been an interception. That made no sense. That was all on Fournette. Of course,
CeeDee Lamb's drop.
CeeDee Lamb. Now that was another one. CeeDee Lamb had a drop, and then the interception. Yeah, that wasn't on Dak either. He was supposed to catch that ball.
Yeah.
But CeeDee Lamb is that type of player too. That he's already thinking about making a play before he catches the ball. So in that, the first thing they teach is you got to catch the ball before you do anything else. And he's got to remember that, and I think that was just he was thinking too far ahead,
But I tell you, the receiver that had an excellent game for the Cowboys, though, was Amari Cooper.
Cooper had an excellent game. Yes, he did. And I don't know, but they say Cooper's one of the best route runners in football. And but also Gallup, man, he was having a heck of a game. He got hurt.
Yeah, he's going to be out for several weeks.
And that's sad that he's going to be out for several weeks. Now, Jarwin, he did well, but man, he missed a block that it just made no sense. He missed a block by a country mile on a play that was a crucial play. But yeah, there's so many things we could talk about as far as some of those turnovers were gimmies. Now that one there down there at the end zone, and oh boy, man, he put the hat on the ball, man. That was nothing but good defense right there. That was nothing but good defense,
All in all, I think it was a great game for a season opener Thursday night game. I think it was a great game.
Yes. And going forward, the thing of it is now is just from what I saw so far, and I'm gonna say this, don't sleep on Dallas because the defense looked really good against a good offense.
Yes. Yep.
Guys can stay on the field and stay out of trouble, and don't smoke no weed during the season, man. Because they had what's his name was a stud anyway, man, but he just couldn't be on the field.
Of course, it might be hard to stop him from smoking that weed, man. You figure they probably already crowned themselves moral Super Bowl champs after the game.
I don't think so because and the thing of this, I'm gonna say this, there are gonna be some teams where Zeke will have a good game. Now, that's a team that it's gonna be very few teams that have a good run game against them. And I think the thought process is this also. Why waste it down, getting 2 yards when we can get 4, 5, 7, 10, whatever. So they have that respect, but you just got to catch them by surprise. Now, if you notice this too, as much as they were blitzing at first, they started backing off because Dak was too calm. They were picking them up too. They were picking up those blitzes, and Dak was so calm. And come on, man, he had a ankle injury that required 2 surgeries, and they were landing at his feet. Man, he was just throwing that ball. Just
yeah, he was very impressive. I don't even know if impressive is right. He was very much what I expected. Let me put it that way, because I always, I mean, for me, he's already shown me, who he is. He's been really good from day one, to be quite frankly. So he was what I expected. Maybe I don't know. He might have been better than I expected, to be honest. But I think Dallas is a great team. I think they're a really good team. You know, but they did let this one go. They had a perfect chance, man. Whew, that perfect chance, man, to get this game. But it's hard to get that out. There when you got you got to go against Brady. You're gonna get the ball back at the last couple seconds, because I believe if Dak would have had a few seconds to get it back, I believe Dallas would have won. So
you know what?
Ball was gonna win.
I agree. I think at that point when the game is that close, whoever gets the ball last, that's probably who's going to win. And now I say that, but I don't know what happened with Zerland. I don't know what happened with the kicker, man. Well, he did have surgery this offseason.
Yeah, he had back surgery.
Yeah. So but you know what? It worked out to their favor, because I was thinking, like, had he have not missed that field goal, that series wouldn't have went that way, because they wound up scoring a touchdown following that. Because that was the play they wound up turning the ball over. So it worked out. It worked for their advantage. Of course, missing. I mean, it's still you don't want to be missing stuff, but it did wind up working out to their favor, at least on that play. So it was all right.
But you got to look at this. Essentially, he left. They left seven points on the field.
Yeah.
But because of this. Now the 60-something yarder, I mean, those are iffy anyway, which he's made them before, but that's a heck of a kick, But but the other field goal, which was a short one, which was chip shot, and then the extra point, the game could have been different. Yeah. And then also,
but I don't.
Yeah, but when you go down there and you settling for field goals instead of touchdowns, you're putting yourself in a bad spot.
Yeah. Right. I definitely agree with that. But they, again, they play well. You get like you say, you get that pass interference that was not called, that should have been called. Game is different. He clearly, pushed the guy to the ground, got him out of his way. So I mean, but that's what football is. Yeah. So, like say, make a miss in terms of the right call, making it or missing it. So,
and don't get me wrong, Dallas had one where they called a face mask, and it was not a face mask.
Yeah, but those detrimental calls, I mean, literally, this is a game changer call for real here. This is that call goes a different way. The game clearly goes different.
Yeah, I agree. But my thing is this: when you look at a call that's not, again, that's not a reviewable call.
Right. Well, it's not called, right.
Once you put it out there, they can't pick up the flag and say, "Oh, my bad." No, you call personal foul, man. You done said it. If you pick it up before you make that announcement, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you make that announcement, the call stands.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Don't even call it. Yeah. So, it's a good game. But look, another good game that we need to talk about just a little bit. Man, we had 2 powerhouses playing college football, man. So, we had the Clemson boys and we had the Georgia boys. So how surprised were you in that outcome? And then the other thing too, do you think that was deserving in terms of the new college rank that came out for Ohio State to be pushed up to 3 instead of 2, and allow them to jump all the way up to 2 and push the other team back to 4? Do you think that was appropriate, or should Ohio State have been pushed up to 2?
I think Ohio State should have been number 2, just slightly ahead of Georgia. Because Georgia did,
because it wasn't like they had a great performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ohio State I wasn't real impressed with their game uh, last week or week ago with Thursday. Wasn't real impressed with that, and for them to get pushed way up like that, uh, I don't think they've deserved it yet.
But think about this, because I thought that Clemson was overranked anyway. I don't think Clemson was a legitimate number two. How did they deserve to be number two? You got your butt beat. I mean, they got whooped by Ohio State at the close of last year. Okay, that's the last look we had. Why were they deserving based on that recruiting class and what left and what they had? I don't know how they were ranked number two in the first place.
And then a lot of people are saying, with Clemson, they're getting predictable now, with their play,
They got. I mean, Georgia didn't. I mean, they weren't like they were all that great looking, and they whooped Clemson's butt.
Yeah.
And I think Clemson dropping back makes sense, but really, and then also you got to look at, quote unquote, the team you play and where they're ranked.
I know that's the point. They were ranked there. I think that was a bogus ranking, number one. Okay, and they showed us they didn't deserve that ranking. They no way look like a number two team. They don't look like a number four team. They don't look like they look like about a number 9, maybe a 10. Okay. Yeah. They don't and I'm not expecting them to I'm expecting them to lose some more games. I just think they were overranked. And that's the reason why I get it. If they would have been like Clemson from a few years back or something, and they get beat, and then Georgia leapfrogs them like that, I kind of got that. And I do understand Georgia should have been moved up based on the fact that they ranked this, that, and the other. But eye test, when you look at them, they didn't look like a two seed. So to me, you wind up putting Georgia up there at a number 2, and Georgia's not a legit number 2 either.
Okay, you're looking at them, and first off, there's a little more respect that comes with being in the SEC right now. And then Georgia, Clemson, whereas Ohio State against was Minnesota the other week, and Minnesota is not, they don't have that type of ranking. Now, I'm gonna say this: I think Minnesota is a better team than what people expect,
and they look better. Minnesota look better than both Georgia and Clemson.
And well.
But you got to consider though, with Minnesota, you had that Ibrahim kid going off,
right?
Yeah. And he's going to be out the rest of the year.
Yeah, now he's going to be out. So, and that really doesn't play that much in the Buckeyes' favor because they're going to drop some more games because that kid's a game changer. You know how you just have the teams have guys on their team that are game changers. They make plays. You got those cats that play their position, play well. Then you got those folks that, are just, they are what they are, man. They're studs. And that kid there, I think he's a stud anywhere he goes. If you give him the ball and in a good program, I say it anywhere, in a good program, he's going to, healthy, we're gonna see that boy playing on Sundays.
Yeah.
He's that type of kid, and he's gonna be a solid running back. He may be, he looked like a Saquon Barkley type player before the injury.
Yeah, and the thing that I like about him though is that he wasn't pure. No, don't let me qualify this. He has great power, but he also has a lot of finesse and speed. So he just wasn't a power back. He has great speed, not good speed, but great speed, and just a very savvy player, man. Whew. Yeah, he's a baller, man.
Yeah, he is. Like I said, he's a game changer. He's a stud. Now their stud running back goes out, and I think it's a big drop off for
Oh, it's a
the
huge
next man up
drop-off.
for them. Not to say that this kid isn't decent, but that's a big drop off.
Yeah,
You know,
impressive.
so but anyway, and of course, Ohio State was making the boy look like he was a Heisman Trophy winner, but
They definitely made him look like he's the Heisman front runner. In
yeah,
fact, they made him look like he's already got one in his locker. I
man,
mean, my.
after that game, boy, it's like, boy, you gonna get that? You might put it in your pocket, put it in your backpack, man, take it home with you. But yeah, but again, Minnesota doesn't. They don't have that type of respect. They don't have that type of respect as a top program.
Yeah, I know that, but the thing is, I know they give SEC teams a lot more, cred than they do Big Ten. But you figure Clemson is ACC,
Right.
and ACC is definitely not better than the Big Ten.
Yes,
It
yes.
doesn't even deserve
I agree
mention.
with you.
It doesn't even
100%.
deserve mention with the Big
100%. ACC is Clemson, and
and that's it, right?
that's it. That's it. Why they were calling, and that was true for a while. Why they were calling Big Ten Marshmallow League, man, there wasn't nothing in ACC. Nothing. Nothing. At that point, don't get me wrong. At that point, all in all, Big 12 was better than Big 10. Uh, Better than ACC at that point, and still right now, other than was it Ohio State, Washington? No, Penn State is on the come up though.
Penn State.
Penn State is don't sleep on those boys.
Yeah, they're always nice to me. I mean,
But there are three teams now, you know, at least three teams that you could say, hey man, these boys here on any given Saturday, they capable of going out there and beating a lot of teams, or giving Georgia or Bama, man,
Gentlemen, we got a
hands to be
call.
full.
We got a call coming in. Let's take it.
Okay.
Hello, you're on the air. At least I thought we were. Hello, you're on the air.
I can see that.
I could see
I
that.
can see that. I can see that. I agree with the fact that they treated this almost like a what the NFL does in preseason, because no one wants to put their cards on the table. I agree with you there, but as far as the ranking for Ohio State, um, you know, I'm kind of iffy on that. I hear what you're saying.
I like you, Gordon. I like you. I like you, bud.
I think I kind of I understand and appreciate the caller's comments. I like that, but the thing with the ranking is when we look at the ranking against the rest of the field. Don't look at the ranking and saying based on what I understand, and it's about a fourth ranked team. But look at it from a comparable perspective based on what you see so far. And when you give them the eye test, just based off of the first week of play, the completion of the first week of college football play, and you look at what a team did that you now rank as a number 2, it's hard to see Ohio State being a number 3, because if I take that number 3 performance from first week and that number 2 performance from first week, And if I put those on the field at the same time and allow them to compete, I don't see any way possible that Georgia team outperforms the Ohio State team. That's the reason why I don't think that based on if Georgia, from what I've seen thus far, I don't think they're number two. And I absolutely Clemson is a big brand, and I do agree that uh, there's a lot of politics around having Clemson ranked high, and a lot of it has to do with how Clemson has done in the past. And so I think that they need some relevancy from other conferences. So I think that's partly it's a lot of politics as it pertains to where they're ranked right now. So yeah, I clearly see that. And in addition to that, as it relates to tilting your hand or showing too much too early, yeah, I definitely think Ohio State done more than enough to win. Clearly, they did win, but they done more than enough defensively and offensively. But I will say this: they probably didn't want to tilt their hand too much. They didn't want to have to go back and do too much additional prep. But Ohio State has traditionally demonstrated that they have a problem with a team that can run the ball and one that can dish passes, beyond to the secondary and beyond. So they've already shown that they have these problems traditionally. It's going on for a while, and I just think that Ohio State's style of play, I don't think that that has been a matter that they believe is important enough for them to adjust to because they don't think that it really hurts them throughout the year. However, when they get in the playoffs, as we've seen, you take a look at what Bama done last year, and if they don't make some adjustments, it'll be the same outcome this year.
Mhm.
I think in 2 years, I think he probably will be. Was I completely satisfied with what I saw week one early on? Absolutely not. In the latter part of the game, the second half, yes, I was. I think that he'll be everything that he's built out to be. And then you got to keep in mind, Ohio State does a fantastic. If they have one strength, it is their ability to coach quarterbacks.
Mhm.
Look how many successful quarterbacks have come through that program. And while they've not necessarily demonstrated that same level of success, it hasn't necessarily transferred over into the NFL. But I believe that at the college level, they do an outstanding job with these quarterbacks. And
I
I
got
think
I
that
got
they'll be
thinking about
fine
that
for them.
Nate, and yeah, last week I had said that I didn't think that quarterback was as good as he was professed to be, and I think it might have been just because of the fact it was his the first college game he'd ever played in, but and I kind of along your line of thinking there, I kind of think they're going to build some of this stuff into him. They it takes an ability and a finesse to be able to take the ball off a center and run with it.
Yeah.
And I didn't see much of that last week. Every time he put his hands on the ball, he was either handing it off to a running back or he was passing it. There was no actual run by him, and there was two or three opportunities that I saw. The fact of it was, I think that because he was so new and he probably just hasn't learned it yet and learned what to look for before he can run. Yeah,
And then,
I kind of think that they're going to build that into him, and he should be all right.
see, and here's the other thing too. I think that they will, and that's always the risk. But if you take a look and hey, look at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had, I mean, demonstrated that he had the goods. So Joe left. And same thing, if you look how Ohio State came by Justin Fields. Justin Fields, again, came through a transfer portal and wound up at Ohio State. But I think that when we're looking at this, the way we're looking at it, we got to be a little more open-minded because we just saw Justin Fields play at Ohio State. Justin Fields is now an NFL player and arguably a starter. And really, we know that he is a starter, but because of the team that he's at, it's probably wise not to start him right now. Throw him in, it's like a piranha, being thrown to the piranhas. But so when you look at it like that, I think that he'll be fine. But I do think that Ohio State will they'll do their due diligence and they will definitely look at the two, they'll look at the quarterbacks and they will see who they think is going to be the most dynamic fit. And then, hey, it's no skin off their chin. And there's really no skin off the young man's chin either, because they do have the ability to do something that, wasn't available years ago, and they have the transfer portal. So if he proves to be his equal, he probably will say, I don't want to sit here and leave. Yes.
Yep.
And what Justin Fields did. Keep in mind, Justin Fields wasn't an original Ohio State recruit. Well, they may have recruited him, but he didn't go there. Yeah, right. You see. Yeah.
All right, caller. Anything else?
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay. Appreciate that. Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for calling. That's the first phone call we've taken.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear him okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Certainly.
Sweet.
It was good. It was good. On that last comment on that call, I disagree with it being defensive pass interference. I could no way see that as being defensive pass interference. And they didn't throw the flag, and I don't really have much of a problem with that. But when you extend that arm,
Yeah, both.
that is pass interference according to the letter of the law as far as the rules are. Now, and I respect the fact that sometimes you got those officials that especially in NBA, but that love to be reveling in the game. Sometimes go ahead and swallow the whistle. Swallow the whistle in the last few seconds of the game. Let the play out and let them decide. Unless it's such an egregious call as the whole Saints where the guy shot to the head, pass interference. That was one of the most egregious calls we've ever seen. No call, but a lot of times in that moment right there, the last second of a game, sometimes let them play. Well, I say that, but you got to have some, like I say again, you got to have some discretion and to some people, it could have went either way.
Yeah, I think it was clearly, I think he clearly shoved him to the ground, and my thing is that I understand, hey, let it play out. Don't want to make a call, makes a decision, but you're not making a non-call determine the game. When clearly, it happened, it wasn't like there was distance between him and the official. The official was there, and he knew he could have made the call, but chose not to. I don't think it was a matter of him missing the call as much as him deciding, made a deliberate intent to not call, a deliberate effort. Said, I'm going to ignore it. And that's exactly what he done. And it did. In my estimation, I believe it cost him the game.
I believe so. And also, I'll say this. And of course, normally I don't talk that much about officiating because if you try it and at the speed these athletes move and sometimes you have to be really seasoned because it's not as easy as it looks. And officials are like players. They're gonna miss plays and make plays.
Yeah, but
So
a play on the island like that, I mean, when it's not when the official was in place to make that call, there wasn't a tremendous amount of distance, and it wasn't a play that took place, in a crowd. It was these two players, and as an official, your job once that ball is launched in the air and it's aiming or going toward a potential receiver and he's being defended, your attention at that point, your job, if you're in that area, you're all eyes on that play. The other official is looking at other things.
okay,
You're looking at that. That right there is the priority and the number one essential play. The
I
ball
hear
is
what
out
you're
of the
saying.
quarterback's hands. The quarterback hasn't been hit. My attention now, following that ball, look at this action right here. Let's see
Okay,
how the play turns out.
okay. I hear what you said. Now I'm gonna follow this up with a question. Had that been shoe on the other foot, so to speak. Let's say that's especially if it's like Galloway or somebody, but uh, who to me doesn't get much respect as far as calls go anyway. But um, let's say had it been Dallas and Galloway pushes off like that, he pushes the player to the game. Do you think they would throw him a flag?
Well,
It
I don't
being
know.
Dallas, because there's the whole Brady thing, and let's face it, man, they have gotten a lot of the benefit
They get a
of
benefit. They've
calls,
gotten tremendous. And
and
then part
I
of that is,
typically don't say that.
yeah, but part of that is, people people like to. It's two different things that take place. Either people will run away from a winner or they'll cling to him. And Brady has the opportunity to do something extraordinary. Okay. Imagine if at this point in Brady's career, he were to have an undefeated season and win a championship, a Super Bowl. That would be so remarkable. Okay. Now, people love to talk about stuff like that. They love to create legends. On the other side of the sports world, let's look at basketball. Look how they've created Michael Jordan, and they made Michael Jordan mythical. No one could do this. Mike was like the cow that jumped over the moon. I mean, like, come on. No, Mike was a great player in his time. And to me, there's been players that are right now, today, are more athletic than he, tons of players that shoot better than him, and almost the whole league handles the ball better than he did. And yes, he could score well. Okay. And he was a fabulous player in his day and time. And so we look at Brady, and now we've got our mythical guy on that side. And so now we want another mythical guy, on the football side of the table, because if Brady goes undefeated, oh my goodness, he's going to be the equivalent uh, of a football player, individual that played football as an athlete, as Jordan is as a person that played basketball as an athlete. So
Yeah,
I could
yeah,
see
I
the
hear what you're saying.
missed
I hear what
call,
you're saying,
the motivation.
and yeah, and yeah, I hear exactly what I hear what you're saying. And of course, I don't see that happening this year, but that they
I don't
go
think
undefeated. But
it.
it's just so many talented teams out there. There's some great defenses, and teams are gonna watch film and they're gonna figure a way to give him a little more pressure. The Antonio Browns of the league, they're going to figure a way to give him a little more pressure. Now Gronk isn't the dude that he was. He's still a good player, but he isn't the cat that he once was. So they're going to figure ways to do things like that. Now, granted, one of the things that Brady brings, I think, at this point is he's been there. He knows how to win. He brings that confidence because there's more to a quarterback than just throwing the ball. There's more to it than that. There's something you bring as a player. And I think, even with Dak, I think Dak knows how to bring that as a player. Dak knows how to bring that as a player. Dak is going to be that dude that's very respectable in the locker room, that team leader out there on the field. He's going to be that guy that people want to follow, like Brady, So there's some other things that Brady brings along with it. Now, mind you, and I keep saying this, I'm not going to say that they would have lost the Super Bowl, but had KC's offensive line been healthy, because just as great a quarterback as Mahomes is, and pressure make a pipe break, make a pipe burst, man. Pressure is pressure, and if you get where every time you snap the ball, you got to run for your life, man, it is what it is. But Brady doesn't have to deal with that. If you could have taken Drew Brees and put him in that same situation, who in actuality is all-around quarterback, I happen to think Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league, or he has showed that over several years because of what he's had to do. Brady, man, dude, all I got to do is stand back here and just throw the ball because, I don't have to be touched. There's a difference in that. We'll see what happens this year with the Browns, because if you get Baker Mayfield where he doesn't have to be touched, and I'll say this about Baker Mayfield: don't get it twisted. The dude is an athlete. He's athletic. He brings athleticism to the table as well. But now the leadership skills and stuff, he's going to learn that over time. This isn't college. But the other thing about that is we'll see what happens as far as coaching goes, because if they try and make him out to be a Brady or Pat Mahomes, that's going to be the downfall to Cleveland. Because he's not that quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He's very capable. Man, Cleveland, I think, is a team that's capable of winning. I had to correct someone last weekend, when he was talking about KC being there and instead. I'm like, ain't no guarantee. He like, who gonna beat them? I'm like, first of all, if you look at what I saw, KC don't run the ball well. Yeah. They didn't run the ball well. Second thing, well, their line is healthy. True. But in comparison, unless their defense has gotten better, their defense, when you put them up against the best team, the better defenses in the league, they're not even middle of the road. And so I had to correct him on some stuff. I'm like, dude, you better watch Buffalo. You better watch. Matter of fact, Ravens are gonna mess around. They've taken in 3 running backs so far because of what's his name being hurt.
They got another running back hurt now.
Their top 3 running backs are out for the season.
Yeah, out for the
season. But they brought in Le'Veon Bell.
Latavius Murray.
Yeah, he was nice. And I can't remember that.
Sure how they're going to gel though with those players.
At the last minute,
But you know what? Now I'm gonna say this, and you're right. But wait a minute, Le'Veon Bell was the man. Don't get it twisted. So, but I mean, that's not a guarantee that they're going. But I mean, there are teams that are retooling. And I'm gonna say this: if KC can't run the ball and that defense is still mediocre, they're not going back to the Super Bowl.
I think this will be a good test for KC, though. If KC whoops Cleveland today, then because if KC beat Cleveland, when I say whoop them, I ain't talking about close game, but if they whoop them, I think they'll be like, oh Lord.
They can beat them today all they want to. Tomorrow's what counts.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we needed to, we need that game to get on. No, but yeah, if KC whips them, then you go, okay, yeah, KC is all that. But I'm anticipating on. I believe that Cleveland's going to win. I think that, man, it's just hard for me to understand why they can't win with the team they have. I mean, it's not like again, like we're talking about, Baker Mayfield Field is more than a serviceable quarterback. He's a good
Very much.
quarterback.
Yes.
He's definitely no Aaron Rodgers, of which, oh Lord, let me inhale and exhale. Just gotta, because I can't help but sometimes think that it seemed like Cleveland could have made a play for him, but Aaron wasn't doing nothing but teasing Green Bay probably
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, I don't think
But
that's what happened. And
but
they did right by holding off because let's not mess with this boy's head right now because Aaron was messing with him anyway.
yeah, if he because he would have he probably would have put a little more pressure on him. Look, I don't want to be here. I'm done here. Let's get this over with. I'm not playing. I'm done. And so he wasn't that done. You know, he
No.
wasn't James Harden done like James Harden was
Yeah,
done in Houston.
yeah.
He wasn't that kind of done. So he's back where he is. But it would have been, now you throw him in. Obviously, I've said this before, but if you had Aaron Rodgers, you really had a quarterback that could make it happen. Cleveland wins the Super Bowl. But again, they can win in spite of Baker because Baker is a good quarterback. He's just not a great quarterback.
You know what? And the thing about it is, he may wind up being that one day. I mean, let's face it, Dak, he wasn't a great quarterback when he came in. I think he's very good. He showed the other night that he's very good. But he wasn't a great quarterback coming in. He didn't have some subpar games, and a lot of his stats came against subpar teams or at garbage time. Now,
Oh no, he was nice to me. He was nice from the day he got to start launching it. When Romo got hurt, Dak showed up.
well, you
Showed
you
out.
you watch some games that some of the games I saw those losses where against teams over 500 that you know uh, he's gotten better. And I say this, these cats come in, and one of the things you want them to do is improve. And I think Baker's going to improve. You know, now he's Cleveland has what it looks like. They got everything to be that team because um, 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 they got other playmakers. They got Odell Beckham. They got Jarvis Landry. They got Chubb. They got Kareem Hunt. Man, and then the defense is just it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And I had to correct someone, let them know that I'm like, dude, you're tripping, man. Cleveland's got one of the best defenses out there. KC's defense, in comparison, is trash.
I don't know if they trash in
They
comparison,
trash, man.
but
They
they're
trash.
not on
They
Cleveland.
trash. They not average in comparison. I put their defense. Well, okay, I ain't gonna call them trash. I put their defense at a little behind from what Dal showed me last night, or excuse me, a Thursday night. Uh, um, I put their defense behind Cowboys defense.
Okay, that's fair.
And you got to be better than the Dallas defense to beat a team like Brady. But I'm gonna say this. First off, let's put it like this: they wasn't really stopping the run last year. KC wasn't, and then they couldn't stop the pass. They could not stop the throw. So with that being said, I'm not. What I'm impressed with is Patrick Mahomes is the Steph Curry of the NFL. Okay,
That's good. That's a good comparison. Yeah, that's
but
good. Yeah.
yeah, man, the dude's a 3-point shooter, man. He's a long distance marksman. But the thing of it is What else he got around him? Without Draymond and Clay, he ain't winning.
Yep.
I was hoping we could recap last week's predictions. What happened to my son?
Man, I don't know what's wrong. That boy, I don't know what's wrong with him, Pat. But let me pull these up here. Okay.
Yeah, let's do the predictions before we wrap this up.
All right. Let's see where we are. Okay, you good? You back? We're gonna do you can do the predictions. Pat said, "Man, quit running out of here, man." He said, "Sit down."
You got a damn show going on. What the hell?
He's trying to find stuff to eat, man. What are you doing, man?
My stomach is upset a little bit.
I want to recap the predictions from last week, so that everybody's aware of what we've got for this week.
Nate, you better change some stuff, man. Give you opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I picked Dallas to be respectable. Y'all
No,
said they were gonna get blown.
No, you said they by at least 10.
Yeah, you said by 10.
Yeah, but that was respectable to me.
No, man, no.
Again, you don't think the 10 points is respectable?
You said by 10. You said by 10, so
yeah,
you wasn't even. You were giving them. You were saying which car was going to cover the spread.
Yeah, I'm saying Tampa. Yeah, I thought Tampa Bay.
They didn't cover the spread.
Yeah,
if
but
you
I thought
betting money, you would have lost.
Yes, I would have, but my point was that would have been respectable. Had they have lost by 10, I would have had no problems with that.
Well, you wouldn't have had no problem with it, but I'm saying you said that they were going to cover the spread. They did not cover the spread. If you don't cover the spread, when you say it like that, because you put it out there like that, if you just would have said, I'm taking the Buccaneers over Dallas, no one would have said anything.
Yeah,
I would have by 10.
I definitely did not see them. I mean, they outperformed, what I thought. And I don't know if they outperformed, but then Tampa Bay underperformed too. I mean,
there's a defense, boy. There's a defense, man. Better recognize.
Under.
All right, so we had Philly and oh boy, we each picked Philly to win their game. And then
let's cover these one at a time. Anybody want to change their picks on the Philly game?
Nah, I'm staying where I'm at.
Nope.
I think I'm gonna stay where I'm at on that.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'll hang there too.
No changes.
And then you got Buffalo, Pittsburgh.
I'll take Buffalo there.
Okay.
I think
Pat,
I took that.
You sound a little biased in that. I think your second favorite team is
whatever gave you that. Gordon, I don't know whatever gave you that idea as I look for my sound effects. I don't know whatever gave you that idea that I'm biased.
Oh shoot, man! You sound like me on those Ravens, man. I mean, on the
if there was a bad Ravens tune, I'd have it.
Yeah. Well, that's the Browns' second JV team, the Ravens. I'm gonna call them the Browns too. Browns number 2.
What else we got, Sean?
All right, just a moment.
Are we hanging? Everybody's hanging with the prediction Buffalo and Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you got Minnesota, Cincinnati.
I think everybody chose Minnesota.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'll hang with that.
I think you went with Cincinnati.
Yep. Provided that, obviously if Burrow is not playing, then
You know what? I think I took Cincinnati just because, just to argue. So I'll stay there.
Okay.
I had to. I don't want to sound like we agree on everything because we clearly don't. Other than Pittsburgh's. Nah.
Okay, then we got San Fran at Detroit.
That one we
I
don't.
think everybody
talk
picked
about
San
that.
Fran there.
Nobody took Detroit? What?
I think I took San Francisco.
Yeah, everybody took San Fran.
I can't think
I
why.
think everybody in the world is taking San.
Okay, and then we got Arizona at Tennessee. I think everybody took Tennessee.
Yeah, I'll hang with that one.
Okay.
God, Mary go call it Mark.
Seattle at Indianapolis.
Seattle.
Yeah, that should be. I think everybody picked Seattle in that game.
Yeah, that's a West Coast team, and I'd pick that over an East Coaster.
Okay. And then the Chargers versus the Redskins. I think everybody went with the Chargers on that game. New York Jets at the Carolina Panthers. Everybody picked the Panthers on this one. Anybody going to change that or not? All right. Jacksonville at Houston. I think everybody took Jacksonville on that one.
Yeah, because no one knows what the quarterback is.
The quarterback's going to be Tyrod Taylor for Houston.
I'll take Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You know what?
I've seen Taylor.
Yeah, I'm with that one. All righty. And then you got Cleveland at KC.
And I definitely took Cleveland.
I took Cleveland too.
And I've been saying that from day one. I'm taking Cleveland.
Okay. And then you got Miami at New England.
Miami.
I know I had the bold prediction. I said New England.
Yeah, you got New England, and everybody else took Miami.
I think Miami gonna be pretty decent.
Green Bay at New Orleans.
And Saints don't stand a chance now. They can't even play. They playing in what, Jacksonville? I think?
Yeah, they're playing over at Jacksonville. And then you got Denver at the Giants, which I think everybody took the Giants on this
Yeah,
one.
I think I'd take the Giants.
Okay, and then Chicago at the Rams. Everybody picked the Rams on this one.
Yeah.
And then for a Monday night game, it was Baltimore at Las Vegas.
I'll take Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
I think I was the only one that's predicted Baltimore, but I'm going to change it to Vegas with injuries to Baltimore for running backs.
Yeah.
Anybody know what the upcoming Thursday night game is so we can stay on top of that?
Let me see. Week 2 here. The Giants at the Redskins.
Short week for both.
Yes.
Man. And you know what? Because
That's going to be a toss-up game for, I think.
it's going to
Tell you one thing I can predict out of that game, though. The Redskins.
And I'm going to go with the Giants on that one. I think
Yeah.
slight edge.
Chase will be the outstanding performer of that game.
Mm-hmm.
So you going with the Skins?
No, heavens no.
I mean the excuse me, I forgot. What's the name of that team now? What's the name of the team?
The Washington football team.
You know what? I'm gonna take the Washington football team.
I'm going to take that. I'm going to surprise everybody. I'm going to take them too. I think that the short week is going to figure into this, and also I've always had a theory that these West Coast teams are always a little bit tougher than the ones on the East Coast, the eastern part of the country. The Browns prove that every time they play somebody from out there. So I'll take Washington.
So Nate, what are you going with on this one?
What I have down there?
No, we didn't have that one.
Yeah, we didn't have, that's this coming
Oh, this
game.
is the Thursday.
Thursday, yes.
This is the Thursday game.
Yeah, we got to keep up with that.
Okay, and that's Washington against who again?
The Giants.
Oh, okay, Washington against the Giants.
That division,
Okay.
man.
I'm going with Washington
Okay.
because of the outstanding defense. Chase.
Okay.
All right, we got all that wrapped up.
That will be a very low-scoring game.
And by the way, let's see what the score is right now.
Yeah, we're going to. You know, what time is it?
And
Oh man, the game is starting already.
yeah, they're-
Oh Lord, we running over, man. That's a shame.
mhm.
Yeah, the owner's going to get ticked, so I think we better wrap it up.
Yeah. 0-0 right now with about 8.5 minutes ago.
All right, let's wrap this up so everybody can go watch that game.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
If you've taken and listened to us this afternoon, and listened to us on YouTube or any of our other social media platforms, drop us a message there. You can get a hold of. If you can't find a place to drop a message, you can always write office@crookedriverradio.com, and I'll pass the word on. We'll use the comments on our show here. I do want to thank our caller earlier. Thanks everybody for tuning in with us. Shawn, somebody want to wrap this up then?
Well, today's show was a good show, despite my leaving for a little bit. But we should also thank God for the people that had the travesty back 20 years ago, and let sports take heed over this and go Bucks.
Always remember.
Yes.
Buckeyes.
Yes, sir.
See y'all.
I'm glad you finished that with Buckeyes. All right. Peace.
Next week, hey, we may have a guest. We may have Danny Sharp's